Hello everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to find and catch a Mimikyu. Mimikyu is a very rare Pokemon in Sword and Shield, and you'll have to get very lucky with some weather conditions to find him. So jumping right into it, the first and best location is inside the Bridge Field. If you have the foggy weather condition, Mimikyu is 100% guaranteed to spawn here in the overworld. It initially took me a very long time of biking around this area to figure out exactly where he was, but you can find him wandering around in the middle of one of the large patches of grass. Because he is so hard to notice, you will know he is nearby if you hear his Pokemon cry. It sounds like this. Hearing this cry happens to be the only reason I was actually able to end up finding him. So in my opinion, it is very useful. The next location to find Mimikyu is inside the Giant's Mirror. We will once again need the foggy weather condition, and you will also need to make sure you stay in this specific area by the pond. In this location, whenever you get a rustling grass encounter, there's a 3% chance you can find a Mimikyu. Now 3% is pretty low, and it took me almost an hour straight of doing this before I actually found a Mimikyu, but it is definitely possible to do. This method takes a lot more work, but it's a good chance to catch a Mimikyu regardless because there's no telling when the foggy weather condition will actually happen inside the Bridge Field. Now, if you have noticed, I am sending out a Seaking for many of my battles against the Mimikyu. The reason for this is not because I secretly love Seaking or anything, but because Mimikyu is actually a difficult Pokemon to catch and Seaking makes it a lot easier. Mimikyu is part Ghost type, which means he is immune to False Swipe by default. And because foggy weather always comes with misty terrain, it means you cannot apply any status effects to Mimikyu. If you catch a Goldeen and evolve it into a Seaking, it will be strong enough to not get one-shot by Mimikyu. What you want to do is use Waterfall to break Mimikyu's disguise, and then afterwards use the move Soak to change Mimikyu's type to water. These moves will come with Goldeen if you catch one at level 60, and they do have to be used in this order. If you use Soak first, it will only change the type of the disguise for some reason, which is really strange and actually caught me off guard while I was recording this. After you have broken the disguise and used Soak, you can switch into a False Swipe user and then weaken Mimikyu. You still cannot apply any status effects, but Mimikyu's catch rate is pretty good, so you don't have to have one. I want to quickly mention that there are lots of places in the wild area to catch Goldeen, but I got mine by fishing in the Giant's Cap. And that is everything you need to know about catching Mimikyu in Pokemon Sword and Shield. I hope this helps, and good luck catching your Mimikyu.